Hello, you're welcome. I am Miss Becca, a TRC and certified math educator with over 12 years of teaching experience. And in this demo class, we will be talking about ratio, rates, and proportions. And this is for grade 7 class. So I would love to meet you. What is your name? Mercy, that is a lovely name. How are you doing today? How has been your day so far? Oh, that's good to know. That means that you're ready for this class. Lovely. So, have you heard ratios before? Or rates or proportion? Have you heard any of the three before? Okay, you've read of ratios. What does ratio mean to you? Okay, ratio is written with colon in between. That's true. We write ratio with colon in between. Like we can say 2 ratio 4 will be written as 2 colon 4. That is good. So let me share my screen with you as I explain what ratio, rate, and proportions are. So this is what a ratio looks like. You can see 4 ratio 3, just like you said. And this is a proportion. So let's talk about the lesson objective. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to understand and write ratios. You already know how to write ratios, and that is good. That is a great job. And then you'll be able to differentiate between ratios and rates. And also you'll be able to solve real life problems using proportion. So what is a ratio? A ratio compares two quantities using division. We compare two quantities just like you said. um a ratio has two a colon in between, so it is comparing the first quantity with the second one. An example of a ratio is this: if there are 4 red apples and 2 green apples, the ratio of red to green will be 4:2. So if you are being asked what is the ratio of red apples to green apples, that means you will be writing the number of the quality quantity of red apples before you write that of green apples, and then you must simplify it. If they have common factors, you simplify such that you can have what we have here. 4:2 will give 2:1. So you can either write it as 4:2, or you say the ratio of red apples to green apples is 4:2 or 4/2, and then you simplify it like this. So if I now ask what is the ratio of green apples to red apples, what will that be? 2:4. Correct. 2:4, because you must write the one that was stated first. So the ratio of green apples to red apples will be 2:4, and when you simplify it, it will give what? 1/2. That's good. So just think about this. If a student scores 18 out of 20, what is the ratio of correct to total? So the student scores, let's switch to the board. The student scores 18 out of 20. That is, I asked you a question now and I gave you 18. 18/20. You score 18 out of 20. So 20 is the total mark, and then you scored 18. And the question now says, what is the ratio of correct to total? So what is the correct? The correct is 18. So that will be 18:20. Or you can also say 18/20. So if you say 18/20, then we can simplify it. What will go in both? 2. 2 will go in 18 how many times? 9 times, and 2 will go in 20 how many times? 10. So we say the ratio of the correct to total will be 9:10. So that is what ratio is about. So now what is rate? A rate compares two quantities with different units. You know that when we talk about ratio, we said ratio compares two quantities. But when it comes to rate, rate compares two quantities with different units. For example, we say a car travels 120 kilometers in 2 hours. You can see that kilometer is one quantity, hours is another quantity. So when you see anything, when you say the car travels 120 kilometer per hour, that is rate. We are talking about rate here. So rate compares two quantities with different units, while ratio compares two quantities with the same unit. So now more examples of rate are 4 words per minute. Let's say I speak 4 words per minute, or let's say five pencils cost $2. You know, pencil is a quantity on its own, the money is another quantity on its own. So rate compares two quantities with different units. Now, what is a proportion? A proportion is an equation showing that two ratios or rates are equal. So if two ratios or two rates are equal, then that's what that is proportion. Now, if two pencils cost $2, how much do six pencils cost? Let's move to the board. If two pencils equals $2, is it two? Two pencils cost $4. So how much will six pencils cost? So this is 4. So we are now asked to find the cost of six pencils. So here now, this is a ratio, this is rate, because they are having different unit, different quantities, different unit. It is a cost of pencil to the price. Now we now want to compare, just like we said, proportion is an equation that is showing the relationship between two rates or ratios, but this time around we are showing the relationship is comparing two rates. So this time around it's comparing two rates. So this is where the proportion comes in. The proportion, now to now find the rate of the cost of that pencil, we will now have the pencil, the number of pencil over how much does it cost. Don't forget that we said ratio is ratio and rate, we write them as two in division form. So that is the ratio here is 2:4, or we can say 2/4. So for the second one now, we will now be 6/, let's use x. We want to find the price of x. So for the first one, we have two pencils cost $4, and then we want to find six pencil, how much it cost. Then here we can cross multiply, so that's 2x, 2 times x will be 2x equals 4 times 6, that will be 24. And then we divide both sides by 2, and so x will be what? 12. So we just use proportion to calculate the price of six pencils. Then we will say six pencils, when you finish solving like that, six pencil cost how much? $12. So that is proportion. We use proportion is an equation that is showing that two ratios or rates are equal. So what are the things that we did in this class? We said a ratio compares two numbers, a rate compares different units, a proportion sets two ratios to be equal, and then we solve proportion by cross multiplying. We cross multiply to simplify and solve proportion. So thank you for your participation in this class. Once again, I am Miss Becca, the virtual math tutor.